Oh, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. One of these is the right one. Oh, we'll figure it out. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Live. How's everyone doing? Oh, man. So many broken things. Hopefully, you're all doing really, really well. Thank you for your understanding last week. That was crazy. The wedding was amazing. At first, it looked like Marge wasn't going to be able to make it, so I drove out there by myself. She ended up changing her plans or working some stuff out and took a red eye and met me out in Boston for the wedding. And then we drove back together, which was a blast, although we had to drive to Pittsburgh Airport on the way home to pick up her car, which is why I didn't make the feed. But anyway, I'm here now. It was great. I have a little bit of stuff to show you, but we're going to get right into it. First off, I want to give a huge thank you to 2 weeks ago. Brian Moore and Honey both gave super chats. That means the world to me, as does everyone who purchased a painting with 543 or whatever. So that means everything. So thank you, and welcome. We're going to work on that dollar bill painting tonight. I need to get that done. It's a personal thing, but it really needs to get done. So I figured you guys could work on that with me tonight. I do have a little bit of a bonus for you too as we're getting going. I did 543s in the true tradition of 543s, which is good. So originally we were doing 5 of them, but that changed a little bit when things got crazy. So it jumped down to 3, but since I missed last week, I'm doing 5. So I've got 5 for you tonight. So let's turn around, we'll get things started, and I'll say hello to everyone. Yay. Oh, by the way, I do have my Yay shirt on today. So thank you, Gary, for that. I saw that big thing light up. Brian Moore. Oh, Brian, I am going to have more than one. Give you a big fat heart for that one. Hello, everyone. I got to figure out why I'm not getting comments there, because, you know, stuff, things. There we are. I knew it, and I knew it'd work. Figure it out. So anyway, hello everyone. Oh, that's going to die soon anyway. Hold on. There we go. Now I can jump back. Michael Stevenson, what's going on? Brian Moore, there he is. Hello. Mark. Thank you, Mark. I'll take it. Swamp Picker, what's happening? Patty C, hello. Mr. Shees, what is good? And I mean Mr. Shees Younger. Hi, Paula. Enzo, what's up? Wayne, what's happening? Ian Hart. Adam, what's going on? Franz, what's going on? Franz, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Deidre, what's up? And you got your painting. So Deidre, you probably already noticed. So yours was a little bit special because it had the iridescent green paint on it. So as you turn that, the wings will get all crazy. So I love that. There's the Gary Shees, Mr. Shees Sr. And yay, absolutely. Mr. Garcia all the way back from SEMA. Welcome. Robert O'Malley, what's happening? Todd and Rhea. Oh, you guys are great. Dan Mayer, hello. I'm glad all you guys are here. Because, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, man. I just don't want, I want it broken. All this broken stuff. Anyway, all right, let's do it. So I have 5. I have 5 of these today. So we're just going to jump right in. If you win tonight, I have the list from 2 weeks ago. So those are the people we'll be drawn from. But if you want to get in on next week, just type in 543 and give me a suggestion for one of these paintings. We're going to jump in right away because we've got a lot to do. All right, first one comes from our new friend Elroy's Toys, who is one of our new lock-picking friends. And Elroy last week asked for E.T. flying on a bike. I did this. I mean, it is the thing. I mean, oh, can I do this? Yeah, that's better. Focus. So there's only one real image of this. I think is it Miramax? You guys can set me straight. They use it as their logo now, their kind of thing. But anyway, this is the iconic E.T. In his bike. Of course, it's from the blockbuster film E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which came out in 1982. E.T. was largely played by Matthew DeMeritt. Matthew DeMeritt. Matt was, or I don't know, I didn't check to see if he's still alive, but Matt was a 12-year-old who had lost or didn't have legs, so he was the main dude. There was another stunt guy. I didn't get his name. He was about 2 feet 10 inches tall, and he also played E.T. as well. The voice was performed by post-smoker Pat Welsh. I don't know who Pat Welsh is, but apparently she gave up smoking, or he gave up smoking. Alongside with sounds of raccoons and horses were all blended in to make E.T.'s voice. The film was one of the highest grossing films of all time. So there you go. So that's my thing. And the title of that one is Not So High, because that's what Elliot screams as they take off. So there's the first one. We got 5 tonight, Gary. 5, like the old days. All right. Next up, James Cully's. James on yet? James usually jumps in halfway. James last week asked for my SB, my airbrush, my very first airbrush. So I did that. This is my very first airbrush. Now the other cool thing to note about this painting is it was actually done with this airbrush. So I like I said, that thing runs like it's brand new. I just I busted it out, and actually it was already busted out because I showed you guys 2 weeks ago, and that's what I came out with. So that's my little side feed. That one is called 1988 because that's the year I bought this brush, and the date down the bottom has 2025, the date I painted it, and 1998. So that's the one. So the SB, I traced the SB or the HP series, this series of airbrush back from Iwata's lineup way back, like over 50 years ago. They came out with this line of brush, and it really hasn't changed at all. It's got some new bells and whistles now, but essentially it's the same brush because it's just an amazing brush. This whole series, the HPC, the HPB, A, and SB were the main line. Those were the 4 brushes. It's changed a little bit. They discontinued the A, but I think all the other ones are still there in one form or another. Now they're called HP Plus, I think. But anyway, that's it. And that one's called 1988, so that one is that one. And no, if you win, you do not get to have my airbrush. You can have the painting of my airbrush, but that's it. Also, since we're here, since we need cheers for tonight, who else I missed? Patty C, what's up? Hello, Patty. Ron, what's going on? I see you there. Michael McClung, hello. Yay. Tonight is my sole leftover New England beer that I brought back with me. This is Kiwi White. It's a Belgian white with kiwi in it. And this is put out by Mighty Squirrel Brewing Company, which is, I love Mighty Squirrel. They're one of my favorites. So it's the only one I have left because I drank all the rest of them. All the rest of them meaning the other 3 of them. All right. Next up. So that's 1988. We're down to 2, or we got 2 on the board. No, that's not it. Oh, I'm going to have to read these out of order, but that's fine. Next up is Dan Mayer. Dan's here, I think. Yeah, I said hi to Dan. Dan last week asked for a 1968 Z28, or 2 weeks ago, Z28 Camaro, but really what he meant was 69, so I did a 69. So this is the 69 Camaro Z28. Is that? I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Make sure it's focused. So the, of course, well, the Z28 model for the Camaro was introduced in 1966 for the, no, it was designed in 1966 for the 1967 model year. It's created by Vince Piggins. Love that name. Chevy wanted to offer a virtually race-ready model for the Camaro. The option level included the 302 V8, and it was designed to compete with the Pontiac Trans Am and the Boss 302 Mustang, and it certainly did that. So that is my Z28. And that one, uncreatively, is called 1969 Z28. So there you go, Dan. That's your Camaro. I don't know how to do this. How do I do this? I haven't had 5 in so long. Kiwi fruit cut in half. That's a good one. Hello, Kelly Drake. Did you airbrush with the nozzle got off back in '88? Kept it off? Yeah, Chris, I took that off. Well, I think when I very first started, I used it with it, but as soon as I found out that the airbrush sprayed better, I took the cap off and it's never been on it since. The little air cap on the top is what Chris is talking about. And I would love to show you, but I don't have an airbrush with it on there because I take them all off. Anyway. All right, so that's that one. What else we got? Oh, yay. Brian Moore. Brian Moore last week, keeping with the alien theme. Brian Moore, I'm going to say keep saying last week, but it's 2 weeks ago. You get what I'm saying. Brian Moore asked for a UFO beaming up a cow. Why not? That's my UFO beaming up a cow. I don't even know what's on this because it's just silly, but I love silly paintings, and this is what I got. And this one, I hate pun titles, but I couldn't resist myself. This one's called Beam Moo Up. Get it? Beam Moo Up. Anyway, that's that one. So there you go. Beaming up a cow. UFOs. We're doing it. That's number 4. I know, right? Gary. Thank you, sir. You're amazing. In a movement of a Rolex Oyster. That is such a beautiful watch, Adam. Good suggestion. And last but not least is the time lapse for this week. And this one comes to us from Wayne Caparoso. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or 3 weeks ago, Wayne asked for a Halloween skull. I was going to do this one. I was actually going to do this one live, but I never got a chance to. And it just got pushed over. And that's kind of what inspired me to do 5. So here is my Halloween skull. And this one's just called Echo from the Void. And if you'd like to see how I did this one, actually I'll switch over to here. It's going to be the time lapse for tomorrow. This was very painterly. I wanted it real rough and like paintbrushy. So a lot of this is, almost all of it is paintbrush, not airbrush. There's some airbrush in it, and you'll see that when you watch the video. But that's it. That's how that one came out. So there you go. Look at that. Look at that. 543s, because there's 5 of them, and then 4x3. Hooray. So there we go. So that's all 5. If you win tonight, you may choose one of these. If you would like one of these, I will put them all up on the website right after. So you can grab whatever. If the winner doesn't take one of these, all 5 will be up. If the winner grabs one of these, the other 4 will be up. But please, please, please grab them, because that's what keeps the ball rolling here. All right. I think that's everything, right? Yep, that's it. We have 5 people on the list tonight. So someone's going to win. All right, let's get to it. So there's a couple things that I really need to get done. This one's going to be a tough one to see. This is my, can I do this? I'm going to try to do this. Hold on one second. Let's see if this is going to work. Yeah, it's going to work. I have to hold it real still, though. So this is my Bell X1 penny that we started for George. I got to finish this for him. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have a just a random pop-up live stream for this one this week, because I'm going to finish this up live. So keep an eye out for that. But I really need to get that one done. So that's on the list. But the other one I really need to get done. Rick Latta, what's up? I know, my self-portrait with a beer. There were a lot of self-portrait suggestions 2 weeks ago, which you guys don't want to see that. But I appreciate it. But anyway, me with a beer. I could do that. I could do that. All right, so first I got to do is I got to clear the deck here. I got to take the knives off. Got to take all the magnets off, because this boy takes up the whole easel. I do miss working on my big bench for paintings like this, because I did used to paint large, believe it or not, or larger. You can't see it right now, but down the bottom, I don't know if you guys remember it. I had damaged the whole bottom here, put scratches and bangs and stuff in it. I fixed all that. I was going to do that on the feed tonight. It's kind of boring, so I decided not to. All right, so I think the big camera's going to work for what we're working on. Yeah, we'll just bounce back and forth, I think, between stuff, because we got a lot to do on this. I mean, I have, I need to get this done for next year, so it's not like it's a crazy rush to get it done, but I've got a bunch of stuff going on, and I really want to kind of lock this guy down. Plus, like I said, it's a personal painting for me, and it's just been hanging around way too long. So I got to get it done. Gots to get it done. Took my magnet to SEMA and did your magnet trick out there, and the viewers were confused until they saw that. Nice. Good, Chris. Spreading the magnet love. Swab, my dad, had a Studebaker Commander. So Studebaker has a special place in my heart. You must have had a lot of time on your hand. Wah, wah. Nice. All right. This painting. All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with this. So it's $2. Obviously, just kind of crumpled up and shoved on a table. I wanted this very classical. Before I do that, because I got to run over here anyway. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, let's do this. Incidentally, the secret painting I was working on was for my daughter, and it's the place where my son-in-law proposed to my daughter, and it's Gilmanton, New Hampshire. So this is the 16 by 20 painting that I did for them. And again, you can see the easel behind there, so you get an idea of how big this was. This is, pretty standard size. It's a small size, but it's not small like my small. But for the kids, I each did a painting of where they got engaged, and this is the one. It's a winery up in New Hampshire. It's beautiful. So that's the painting. But that's not really what I wanted to show you, but I did want to show you that. So this painting I'm working on now, I wanted to have a real traditional feel. Like this is Lily Martin Spencer's bowl of fruit. You notice it's centered in the image. It's got a real dark background, strongly lit. So it's that kind of thing. Here's a Goya with his fish. Same deal. Really dark background, stark lighting. And this is the feel that I wanted for this painting. This is Chardin. Again, same kind of feel. This is a little bit farther back, but same kind of feel. And then, of course, Cezanne was another great painter, and as far as the use of this style of still life. So this is what I was looking for with this, and that's why it's set up. Unlike everything else I do, is partially cropped and whatever. But this one I wanted a real traditional. So that's kind of how this happened. Something is still feeling off to me as I kind of push through this, and every painting goes through its ugly stage, and I'm fighting through on this because this painting has to be perfect for me. So I'm wrestling with a lot of things, mostly with color. I don't want it to look artificial. So the best way I can describe it is like, say you want some pizza, right? And you have some frozen pizza in the freezer. You just toss it in the oven for 30 minutes or whatever, and you take out your pizza and you eat it, right? But then say you also want to, on the other side of that, you want to make a pizza. Like you want to make the perfect pizza, right? There's a huge process in that compared to throwing a frozen pizza in the microwave or in the oven. The end result is you get pizza both ways, right? So, and there's nothing quite like a frozen pizza. Sometimes that's just what you need. So this painting is me making a full-blown pizza, and the difference is all the minutia that comes with that, and that's what I'm trying to pay attention to here, where like a 543 is more like a frozen pizza. I get it done fast. It's great. I love it, but this one's something different. So I'm wrestling with this one a lot more, and that's kind of what we're going to do tonight. What else did I miss? My gories are filled with rice and beans. Chris, that's good. Yay, I want my $2. Yes. Yeah, this painting means a lot to me. And it needed to come out now. So you're seeing a bunch of glare on this. Let me turn these off for a second. And you're still going to get glare from above, but you get a much better idea of what this looks like. Let me grab my reference photo and I'll block the overhead light a little bit. Can I do that? Probably not. I need Michael's shelf idea for his. Yeah, it's not really working. But that over here, that shows you more of the actual color. The blue area here is really like all the glare from the light right above me. But that's kind of what it's looking like right now. I think it's still going to go darker when I'm done, but I wanted to get the bills in. yeah, so we're gonna mess with this guy since we're kind of working on him. It's all about underpainting with this piece. You know, it's getting the right, like the right tones from the start. I'm using my reference photo here, and I also have the reference photo on my tablet. Now I bounce back and forth between them because they both have a different feel. Yeah, I think to get back into this, I'm just going to kind of start with the engraving, the black parts of this. What I was not liking was the feeling, I don't know, I still can't put my finger on it, and that's fine, because again, that's part of the process. Like, you just keep pushing little things until it feels right, you know what I mean? This seems to be a little bit too harsh right now, the paintbrush work that I did for the engraving, although the engraving needs to be paintbrushed as well. I'm going to have to keep sticking my head in the way to see the comments, so I hope you guys don't mind. But it's the way I'll stay in touch. Patty. All right, we'll wait for you, Patty. I'm kidding, I won't do that to you. This is Supreme Pizza. Yes, Gary, with extra stuff, or as my dad called them, the junky pizza, meaning that you put everything on it. The other thing I did too for the technical nerds in the audience, the background, I sprayed it with UVLS satin. It still needs a couple other coats because this, when I sprayed this, it was really grainy and porous and rough. I don't know if you can hear it as opposed to this. So I want to seal up that graininess in that so it doesn't become a problem. All right, so let's just start doing the engraving, I think, on this. So I'm starting to introduce these greens. We did that a while ago when I was messing with this painting with you guys before. So the greens and oranges are important. The oranges are obviously reflected from the teak desk and the orange background. The green is not from the bills. The green is just a secondary kind of light source that's going on there. But I need to make this more complex. So I have a feeling that there's purples in there too. And I lost my other glove. Oh, there it is. Okay. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I've got the green and the blues in here, and that's good. If you guys have any questions on the way, please let me know. Stop putting your finger oils on it before. What could go wrong? I know. Actually, it's nice. I haven't had chips or anything, so my fingers are actually pretty clean right now, so I'm not worried about that. But thanks, Chris. What could go wrong? Yeah, let me show you what I mean here. I'm going to move you guys closer because we're going to work on one little area because I think that's going to explain kind of where my dilemma is and how I'm going to kind of deal with it. Yeah, we're going to do this engraving area or engraved area right here. Let me lighten this up for you so you guys can see it. Now I've got the drawing on there really lightly. See it there? What I did was I started by airbrushing this little guy right here. You know, the engraving that's going on there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this time with the paintbrush and then jump back to the airbrush. What I got to do is I got to get it out of my head that it has to be one or the other, which is so common with me. Like I'll be like, you know, I don't know, I get stuck, you know? Yeah, Brian, we got snow up here too. Let's put on this too. Yeah, we got snow intermittently on and off all day today. All right, so I know what this is, right? It's a line that goes around the whole outside circle. But what I think I was doing was I was like, as soon as I knew that was a line, I was just painting the line, right? But I think what I need to do is like really pay attention to what's going on with the reference photo. For instance, this line is really like kind of broken up, you know, and I don't think I was paying as much attention to it in here. I knew that these were the lines and that's what it was supposed to be, but I was just kind of blasting through it, and I think that's where I have to slow down. I have plenty of time to finish this, and even though I need to get it done for my own sanity, I also need to know that I have to get it done right. You know, I'm okay. Like, I have this planned for a couple shows next year, and that's great and everything. But if it doesn't make the shows, it's more important that this guy gets done right. So as long as I can look at it and say, oh yeah, I'm definitely making progress on this, I'm good. I'll be happy. Yeah. See, already I think compared to this area here where I was just painting diamonds and then, you know, kind of cleaning it up, this area is pulling together a little bit better. Let's move this a little bit. I didn't realize I was almost off. The other programming note too, I have finished Open Studio for this week, so I'll have that ready. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Yes. If you guys have YouTube channels, please put them up. I just saw Michael. Michael's on there. Swamp, I believe. Swamp, you have one too, yes? I'm catching up with all my lockpicking friends. I'm still not there yet. I've accidentally opened one lock, and I haven't been able to figure out what the hell I did. So I'm working on that. All right, so I'm not going to get into this area here fixing this, but I can see right now this needs a lot of love. And again, I think that's where my problem is. I think I was just trying to like get it done. You know, there's a lot of other stuff that's going on in here. With the there's other little weavings and banners and all kinds of other stuff. So I need to slow down and do it right. So doing what I do with the small stuff, this is the advantage that I have now. You know, I can treat these smaller areas with the same attention that I do a really, really tiny painting, and it gives it that, you know, it gives it exactly what it needs, meaning, you know, the attention that it deserves. This palette is dried up. We're moving into winter time, and once the air dries, this wet palette just, you know, seems to need to be replenished 3 times as often. All right, so I'm going to start with the basic areas. Are you guys still with me? Can I move it? Can I? Hold on. It goes away a little bit more. How's that? Yeah, it's better. So these areas, and again, I'm going to airbrush on top of this, so I'm not, you know, I'm not overly worried about the continuity of the line. I just want the pattern that's there, that what's going on with the line itself, because there's a lot going on with this etching and this bill, which is nice. Yeah, it's a lot darker than I have it too, the whole area. There's a shadow in here that's much darker than it should be, than what I have, I mean, which is good. You know, again, it's getting it to be what it needs to be. This bottom side is really dark, like it's a shadow. So my goal for this one, as I get closer to the new year, is this one I want to just, you know, grab every once in a while. I know I'm not going to work on it, you know, flat out till it's done, but I need to constantly put time in on this one to get it done, and I'd be okay with that. I got a couple cool projects coming up, one with Western Massacre, Locksport, fun project coming up with him, and I have a hockey helmet to do for my cousin, which is going to be a lot of fun, and I'll include you guys all with those projects as well. All right, this side here is mostly gray, but I'm going to kind of do the outline here with the paintbrush just so I can make sure that I get it nice and clean. Well, cleaner than the airbrush is going to do. Like that. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so Open Studio is going to go off on Wednesday night as usual. The Tokyo painting is coming along. It's crazy. I'm really, really excited. It's like light at the end of the tunnel now with that painting, which is great. Because again, there's another one. There's a lot going on with that. And then the next Open Studio is going to be something with London Pen Company, which will be a lot of fun. So we have a lot of cool projects coming up. Just got to keep my head on long enough to get them done. All right. Let's see what we got here. Actually, no, let's do that. I'm going to reduce this out quite a bit here, because there are little dotted lines in here too, but they're pretty gray. I'm going to check comments in a second. They're on the other side right now, so I can't really get to them, but I will if you have any questions or whatever. There we go. This will make more sense when I get the airbrush rolling on this. And this is really dark. Yeah, like that. Good. Already, just out of the gate, that's feeling way better than the other side. Why is that not doing that? Hold on. Ooh. Oopsie. There we go. Something like that. There we go. When's the studio tour coming? Ian, I gotta clean this place up. I mean, I could give you the studio tour, but right now it looks like a bomb hit it. And I know that, you know, I mean, I love to see people's studios, even when, especially when they're messy, because it's, you know, shows what they're working on and that kind of stuff. But it is exceptionally disastrous right now. So I will, I'll keep working on that, Ian. All right, let's get some airbrushing in on this, and I'll kind of show you how this is going to come together. So the first thing I want to do is identify that darker color. I want to just use black. And I think I am. The opaque black has kind of a brownish cast to it, and I think that's what the doctor ordered for this. It also feels very green too, but I think that's the overall color, which I can tint after. All right, so I'm going to start with the easiest part, which is this little, oh, come on, did that slip? Crying out loud. Hold up. Ugh. That's better. Marge's going to put him in timeout for not cleaning up after himself. Yeah, Chris. That's probably true. The place breathes, you know, like becomes a disaster, and then I take like, you know, a week and I clean it all up, and then it just gradually descends into madness again. It's just how it is. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So what I think I was kind of missing, and I'll show you on the reference photo because it's more apparent in the reference photo. Here's where we're working right now. See that the shadow area and even the engraving is not real smooth. It's like kind of grainy, and that's not. That's because of the photograph that I took. I took this photograph way back, I think 2005. So it was it was a lower quality digital camera, so it didn't have the resolution, but I like that. So what I'm finding is I'm doing my painting, everything's super smooth, you know. So what I got to do is I got to kind of recapture that graininess. So that's what we're going to do. And I think that's what was missing so far with this guy. So this is just opaque black, and it's reduced quite a bit. It's 1 part paint to 10 parts reducer. Now I know the area right around this edge is the darkest, so I'm starting there. Because if something goes sideways, this is the place for it to go sideways. Because I won't really ruin the painting here. I won't cause a what could go wrong moment. Once I get the airbrush dialed in, I can start moving it out. But here's where that graininess is kind of going to come into play. I don't want it super smooth, which is what I think I was kind of focusing on the rest of it. Now the good news is it's pretty easy to fix the rest of it, but it's just going to mean backtracking in a way, you know? Already I like this. So I didn't finish the other side of it here, but I like it already. The shadow up here is a little bit darker. What's going on here? Come on, man. Help me out here. Reference photos, doing reference photo things. There we go. So same thing with this, with really smooth fade up here, which you guys can't see. Well, you can see a little bit of it. I'll just do a little bit. So even this shadow up here, I'm going to darken this, but I'm going to darken it in a kind of pixelated way. And I really think this is going to help the painting feel more natural. You know, the problem with airbrushing stuff a lot of times is we take advantage of the ability to be real smooth with it. And that's great. It's a great, you know, strength of the airbrush, but it can also be a detriment to it in that, you know, your paintings all feel like they're made of plastic. They feel super smooth and slick. And that's not what I want. I just want the image to read right and not have people worry about like what I used for it, I guess. Yeah, that's good. And then this obviously gets way darker too, which I'll get to. But out of the gate, I'm much happier with that. So this guy here, same thing here. Now, I purposely didn't just draw a line because I can connect it with the airbrush. You know, that soft fuzziness that the airbrush has will kind of connect these lines in a really nice way and give it that, like I said, that kind of grainy feel that it has that I think I was missing. Now the other side of it, again, this is like I said, it's as you making pizza, and instead of buying, you know, frozen dough, you're making the dough from scratch, and you're making the pizza sauce from scratch, to the point of you're crushing tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? Now the big question is, you know, why would you want to do that, right? When you can buy pre-made sauce. So even if you want to make a cool pizza, you know, homemade pizza, you can buy frozen dough and then, you know, buy some sauce and then, you know, still put together a really awesome pizza. It's just how much time you want to spend on it and how much enjoyment you get out of the process, you know? So in the end of it, yeah, making your own dough and making your own sauce and everything, it's like that's part of the ultimate pizza experience, you know what I'm saying? So this one has to be the ultimate pizza, you know? What I really need to do, and this is where the 543s have just really saved my artistic sanity. Doing all of these paintings like this, like every single painting is like full blast, like everything you got nonstop, make the pizza from scratch type of thing, you can easily lose your mind, like the Tokyo painting and what this painting is going to be. It's so nice to just sit down with the 543 and just like paint a painting and have it be done in a couple hours, you know, like it's just having to make simple decisions on it that are still going to work. I mean, they really have saved me. It's been awesome. But again, different animal. I like it. All right, I got to go jump back to the paintbrush now because I've done pretty much all I can with the airbrush. But even as a test run now, I'm leaning back from this and that's looking exactly like what I need it to look like. See how kind of clean and sterile this area is and how like almost it's more natural here. And I haven't even got to the other stuff too, like this part here. If we grab a little bit of, well, what do we got here? This white is dried out, but it'll all work. I want to get a little bit of a light tan here. So I'm grabbing some brown and some white. So this is for the highlights that are in here. It's a little bit too tan, so I'm going to see if I can grab some of this yellow out of here. Yeah, that's better. Not too much yellow. Way too much yellow. It's all right, we'll get it. I'll add a bunch more white. All this paint dried out. I got to change this palette again. That might do the job. Okay, so the things like the highlights in here, like here, we haven't even got there yet, but these little extras are really what kind of pops the image, and again adds that sense of realism to it. You know, it puts all the dots where they should be and the crosses of the T's and all that fun stuff. Yeah, this is the right color. Except it's drying out here too. That's that one. Now I could back this up as well with the airbrush. I could, you know, like kind of smush together the lighter areas here, but I don't think I have to. As long as I'm not too over the top with this, because this is fun and it's easy to do, and this is when things get screwed up. You add too much of these highlights, but I think that's looking good. A couple of them in here, like that. Now I lean back. I'm about to, actually, I'll back you guys out to here. So automatically this area right here just feels right. So that's a great thing. That means that, you know, I'm kind of homing in on it. There needs to be more highlights in there. We need to put some orange in there, that kind of thing. What else we got? I'm going to look at your comments. There's Western Massacre. Yeah, buddy. James, hello from dyslexic 27-year-old loving life. Dr. Visit Penn Med. Eagles busting out Kyle. Grace of God. Yeah, no kidding. Kyle's recovery is just insane. And look who we have here. Wink. What is up, brother? Hey, Roy Johnson. What's happening? Nice. Wink. I'm so proud of your technical prowess now. Brandon, what's going on? Hello, everyone. If I missed anyone that's jumping on. Yeah. And good suggestions. Good suggestions. All right. So let's and you know, it's funny with this kind of stuff, because like I said, it's a brutal mess of, you know, everything, right? But like when I do something like what just happened, like, okay, I solved a problem in this, it fires me up for this painting again. You know what I mean? It's like if you figure something out, then it's like, oh, all hands on deck. Now I want to work on it. When it's going poorly, it's like any project, right? You're like, ugh, you know I got to do it, and it just feels like a train wreck all the time. So, wow, this paint is sucky. So yeah, so when I get it to this point now, I'm starting to figure some things out. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, good. I want to make sure you guys can see everything. So now that I got kind of my marching orders, I can kind of get going. The one thing I don't want to do is become complacent in what I just figured out and apply that everywhere. Because if I do that, then when something changes, I'm not paying attention to it. And then the whole thing becomes monotonous, you know, as far as the visually monotonous, also, you know, painterly monotonous when you're working on it. So I got to really kind of keep my eye on that reference photo to make sure that, you know, things stay the way they should. I'm going to outline all this. I don't know that you guys can see where, yes, you can, good. Yeah, I'm going to kind of lock this in so I can do that whole outline here. And even here, originally I had this as just a line, but I'm going to kind of scumble that line up a little bit and not make it so smooth, you know, give it that pixelization that the original camera had. Again, I think I've mentioned it. This painting has been in the works since probably about 2005. I'll have to double check, but 2005 is the date that I remember. And, you know, it's kind of a tough painting for me. I know it just seems like a couple dollar bills, but, you know, it's timely. It represents, you know, part of my past, and it also is relevant now as well. So it was kind of the reason that I pulled this back out and said, okay, I really got to do this now. So I got to get it done. I got to get it off the plate, so I'm not constantly thinking about it. You know, it's weird. It's like an earworm for music. You just stuck in your head, and it won't let you go. You know, that's what this painting's been like. And I wish I could tell you that, once it's out of my head, it'll be out of my head. But I have other paintings like this that I've done, and I think about them all the time, even though they're done and they're in the bag. And every time I, see them, reproductions of them, or even, some of them I still have because I don't let those go. Every time I look at them, it's like all over again, and it's good and it's bad. Like I always said, that for me, art is really therapy. It in times of everything seeming out of control. For me, this is the thing that seems like it's in control more than not. So I gravitate back to it, especially when things are weird, So when I look back at those paintings that I did in response to those times, that it can be both good and bad, But it's also, something that I need, it's something that I need to do. Same thing in here. This area could just be kind of, painted in, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep that scumble feeling going. Because I want to get this leaf thing done tonight. That'll be a really good thing. What's going on with this? Yeah, when in doubt, I'll do a little dotted line now instead of a straight line, because I'll be able to adjust it as I go. Yeah. And then this thing comes all the way around. Okay, I think I got it. So one thing also that happened is I didn't put in the full shadow that's going on right here where my finger is, my pinky. That's nowhere near as dark as it needs to be, and that's done on purpose so that I can adjust it after I get the details in, which is lovely, which is what we want. So hopefully everyone had a good time at SEMA who went. I know Chris was there, had a good time. I noticed Rupees put up the polishers again, which was fun. So I did one for them last year, and they rehung it. What I did like to see was they also put up some of the other ones that have been done, or that's what the point. I guess they did put a bunch of ones that were done in the past, including a polisher from the late great Mike LaValle. So that was really, really cool to see that. I didn't get to see it live because I was doing wedding stuff in Massachusetts, but I saw pictures of it, and that was awesome. So also Craig Fraser was on there as well. There's a bunch of people on there. And congrats to Daryl Sargent for winning again in the People's Choice for those too. All right, I'll jump over and say hi to everyone because I'm not being good. Yeah, Brian, the challenge idea is great. It's just that I don't have time to put it together right now. So it's an excellent idea, and I will get to it. It's just it's off the plate right now because there's just so much going on. But yeah, I haven't forgot about that. Trying to do Scott McKay's Mummy. Brian, that's all right. You'll get it. Commission piece yesterday for Ian. Pencil commission. Yeah, but you rock those pencil drawings, Ian. There's Mr. London Pen. What's up, Sean? We're just talking about next open studio. Awesome. Thanks, Brandon. I think you're talking to me, but if not, you're talking to someone else, and I agree. Their painting looks awesome. Yeah, oh, good. Okay, good, Ian. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what kind of hoping I heard. I think Honey's traveling. So I got to keep an eye on the clock. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Hope to try some pens when it. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, Sean. It's gonna be fun. You sent me 3, so I still have the other 2. Do I have enough here to work with? Yeah. What the goal is before the giveaway, I want to get this whole area kind of shaded in and get some of the. Well, actually, we'll see if we can get the whole thing done. That might be even better, right? Oh, I missed that in there. Okay. All right, right. Oh, yeah. So same thing. Lots of reducer here. Get this really kind of gray and palette out the brush. Take out almost all the paint so that when I put these lines down, they're gray like that. Now, I could mix up a gray too, but this is the watercolorist in me that's doing this. You know, I love being able to use transparent colors so that the bottom colors can kind of peek through. If I make an opaque gray, it's going to stand on top of this, and then that's fine. You know, I mean, it's going to have a different look, but I really love that the vibrancy of that transparent layer on there. That really makes me happy. There we go. Actually, those probably are dark enough, but we'll go with that for now. And Brian, if you wanna, I mean, you know, I don't know how you feel about running a challenge, you know, on your own. Like I said, I don't know. With the stuff that's coming up in the holidays, I probably won't get to it till the beginning of the year, and I'm not sure. You know, it's a great idea, and I want to kind of do something with it, but I know I won't be able to get to it right away, and I feel bad. So. Yeah. All right, there we go. So I want to get the base of those paintbrush strokes in there, so when I switch to the airbrush, it moves the right way. Kiwi Terry, 10 minutes. Thanks, Wayne and Paula. Yay. All right, back to the airbrush. Oh, that came out so nice the way it stained like that. That's perfect. I think I've turned the corner with this one. So now when I go over this with the airbrush and kind of, you know, bring it back down to where it should be value-wise, I've got all that great texture rolling around in there. I don't want to go too far out because I don't have the texture going on there, so I'll leave that there. This is probably needs a little bit extra paintbrush work too, but we'll get it started. And now the shading under this one. It's so neat because this, obviously the engraving has the design, you know, on it with the shading and everything, and then you have the actual shading on the bill. So it's neat that they're like two different shadows kind of competing with one another. So this line, I'm going to thicken this up, but I'm going to thicken it up with the airbrush, and again, that'll give me that kind of like how is it done type of look. You know, it's not quite paintbrush, it's not quite airbrushed, it's just the way it should be. It's right. Oh, I like it. There we go. This area is really dark down in here. I don't have any dollar bills on me, but what's funny is I believe the dollar bill has changed in the last 20 years. Like the design is different, which is even better because now this becomes, you know, a timely thing. You know what I mean? It's like this actually, like if I want to do this painting today, but you know I want to, it's a paint. So again, the painting started in 2005. But if I said, oh, I want to do it today, and all I had was bills from today, you know, it's not going to have the same impact as this one. Now, yeah, of course, I could go get two, you know, bills from 2005, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so let's get the white in there, and we're getting close now, right? How we doing? Bobby, what's up? 5 minutes. Look at me keeping track of time. Honey would be so proud. Where was that color? Here? Oh no, it was here. Oh. All right. Much better. Now, if this is too much, too bright, it's super easy to just kind of hit it with the airbrush and tone it down. But we're gonna throw it in and then take a look at it. See what we got. So, bit of sad news today. I found out I did not get into the Manifest Prize show. The Manifest Prize is it's not really a show. Yeah, it's a art competition essentially, and you enter your work. 5 pieces. They look at it. The winner gets their own solo show and a bunch of cash. So it's not like a show where you have a bunch of people in it. It's literally just, at the end of it, it's just one person. So I did not make the cut, which is okay because they had over 1,000 entries. So you can imagine out of all that, if it's just one person winning, the chances, even if your art is stellar, is not great. But still, it's kind of a bummer, It's a great opportunity, great show, and great honor and stuff, so. I have a whole thing about it on Wednesdays. Wednesday's Open Studio. However, when I recorded that this morning, I did not know that I was not in the running anymore. So when you watch that, I wouldn't have known that I didn't make it. All right, so how does that look? So now again, I lean back. I'll lean you guys back way far. You guys are farther back than you should be, but that area there feels a little bit too bright right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that black. Again, this is super reduced. And I'm just going to really lightly go over those highlights that I just put in. Not crazy. Just want to kind of bump those down a little bit. Take the edge off them, and that's it. That's perfect. How much time we got? 2 minutes. Let's set up. I got to move this because I can't put the paintings on the painting. So we'll move this, but luckily this is a big old painting, so it's easy to move. But yeah, I'm feeling good about that. When we get back, we're just going to finish up this section, add a few more things, and I'll get the oranges in there, and that section will be done. But more than that, more than just being done, which is great, I solved some problems, which is even better. It's outstanding, actually. Kyle didn't get picked either. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, 1,000 entries and one person wins. It is a long shot. But I love that gallery, Manifest in Cincinnati. Brian, I don't know how close you are to Cincinnati, but if you get a chance, it's a great little gallery. But they've got a huge footprint in the art community down there. It's Manifest Gallery, and I was in a show there 2 years ago. Marge was in a show down there as well. Just a really, really cool place. And they just opened up this giant art center too, which is great. All right, let's look at these real quick. The big camera's in the way, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Here we go. These are in no particular order now because I just grabbed them off the table, but that's how it goes. Spread these out so I can see who's who. Okay, James Cully with Steve's Iwata SB. So that's my airbrush. And again, that was painted with my Iwata HPSB. My very first airbrush I painted that painting with. So, fun times indeed. Elroy's Toys had E.T. flying. It was fun. Love that one. I remember E.T. being the first video that we had on VHS, which was amazing. I also remember they paid $90 for it. It was crazy. Next one is Brian Moore, beaming up, UFO beaming up a cow. The cow is worth it. The cow, this is what I'm talking about with doing these things. Like, how do you paint a cow with the least amount of paintbrush strokes, but still have it look like a cow? It was so much fun figuring this little guy out, or girl. I guess it's a girl. So there it is. So that's what I was talking about. Fun stuff. So that is Beam Moo Up. I hate pun titles, but there you go. What else we got? Dan Mayer. Dan Mayer with the 1969 Camaro Z28. You guys know how I feel about this era of cars. The Camaro, Mustang, and Firebird are some of my favorite cars of all times. And last but not least is Wayne. Wayne asked for a spooky Halloween skull, and that's what I came out with. And that's Echoes from the Void. So there you go. That's all five 543s, just like the old days. Boom. I'm not going to promise you 5 from now on, but I did have fun doing them, so who knows what the hell is going to happen. We may jump back into doing 5 after all. Who knows? All right, where's my list? Speaking of 5, there are 5 people on the list tonight. Here are your people, because there are people now. Blank, there we go. So we got Deidre, we got Chuck Soup, Raul Antonio, Totally Diorama, and Elroy's Toys. Those are your 5 for tonight. Let's jump to this, because we're so tech savvy, it's ridiculous. It's more just like ridiculous. All right. 5. Your winner tonight is, just so I can find the mouse. There we go. Aha! Yay! You're wrong one. There we go. Deidre, congratulations. You won. Look at that. Oops. I keep losing my thing. So, Deidre, you know how it works. Honey's here. Honey, thank you so much for that. Aw. I know, Bobby. It's like the old days. So, Deidre, you know how this works, right? Of course you do, because you're a new old regular. You're a new old-timer regular around here. I don't know how to say that, but you know what to do. If you would like one of these 5, where are we going? If you'd like one of these 5, let me know before the end of the feed, and I will hold it for you. Deidre, just for fun, you could send me a private message with your shipping address again, even though I'm positive I have it, but it just makes my life a little bit less crazy. If you would like one of these 5, let me know by the end of the feed. I'll hold it, and if I don't hear from you, that's totally fine. You still won, but we'll put all 5 of these up so on the website right after. So if you'd like one of these, all the 543s are always 50% off. So you get a screaming deal on these. I'm even thinking for the holidays, I used to offer a commission for these where you could just buy the commission and then I'll paint you a 543 of whatever you want. I'm thinking about opening that up this week for the holidays, so keep an eye on that. I'll post that on the front page of my website if I do that, which I'm like 99% sure I'm going to do that, maybe even tonight. So if you want your very own 543 and don't want to wait for it or don't want to even wait to win it, you'll have that option. You can just buy it flat out. There you go. So any of you, oh, drop the mic. It's a mic drop. All right, so let's just do a little bit more on this, and then we can let you guys go. Again, my plan is, and Western Massacre, in talking to him, made me realize this might be a fun thing to do and good for everything, including the channel, is to, I'm going to do a quick, just kind of unscheduled live stream to finish up George's Penny. So that'll probably be tomorrow, but I got to check to see what Bill is doing. Bill Snagan does his feed on Tuesday, and I don't want to step on any toes. So yeah, we'll see what we got there. All right. Next year I'm going to try to get more. Oh, that's awesome, honey. I wasn't 100%. Oh, Deirdre, there you are. Um, Honey, I wasn't sure if you were going to SEMA, and then I think I saw one picture, and I still didn't know if you were actually there or if it was from before, but hope you had a great time. That's awesome. Yeah, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. Bobby, I have probably the most epic Christmas Creepy Santa 543 ever, and I'm shocked that no one's grabbed it yet. It's the Coca-Cola Santa, but he has a skull face. It's on my site right now. Um, every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it. uh, all right, so Deidre, so you know what to do. If you'd like one of those 5, just let me know before the end of the feed. If I haven't acknowledged it, just keep yelling at me so I know not to put it up. And if not, Deidre, you know what to do. You can go through the whole website and you can pick any of the 543s you want, and I will ship that to you. Congrats. All right. So what I need to do here now to finish the job, is focus. Ha! Focus that thing. Oh, I love this. This is so much better. Okay, hopefully you can see it. So we got this, and then I got this, which is too clean and there's details missing. I'll show you the details that are missing. If I show you this, see the extra, I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's like an extra layer of something going on in there. See that band that cuts across in kind of a loop, and then there's stuff behind that. See how complex that is? And now watch when I show you mine. It's like just diamonds. And yeah, does it read as a dollar bill? Yes, but that's not making my own dough. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I gotta make my own dough. My grandfather had the best dough recipe, and I have it too. He was in the Navy, and he was a baker, and then went on to be, a baker for a little while when he got out of the Navy, and super, super good, just standard dough recipe. I love it. And no, I can't share it with you. My mom would kill me. All right, so let's do it. So next thing I want to do is I want to kind of lock this in for real. So this needs to be darker. The details need to be a little bit darker. But I'm not going to do that yet because there's orange that needs to go in there, or more specifically like a red oxide that I'm seeing in there. I'm also seeing some yellow ochre too. So we're going to put those real subtle colors in first, and then I can finish working on the value. So for me, it's always like, I don't know, I seem to do that a lot where I start with the value, get it to a certain point, then work on the hue, the colors, and then finish the value at the end. So the colors are kind of sandwiched in the values, which are the dark and light. The hue is the color, the value is the dark and light of it. So we're going to start with a little bit of red oxide. My fave orange color. Put some of this out on the palette, which you can't see because I forgot to turn it back on. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want a lot of this. The same thing. I want this to be pretty transparent. So I'm going to use some 40-50 and reducer mix. This one is 1 to 10. I've been using 1 to 5 a lot lately too. So it's 1 part 40-50 to 5 parts reducer. Just seems to be the perfect mix of reducer to 40-50. So for these brushes. And then I got a little bit on the paintbrush. I'm just going to kind of mix it in there. And this will give me a nice transparent orangey color, rusty color. Keep looking at these comments. Brian, I know what one I want. I will keep looking, thank you. Okay, great. Yeah, Deidre, just let me know. Awesome. Special dough recipe. Kyle, I know. Yeah, see, I see what you're doing there. Almost got me. All right, so this is the orange. So the orange, is this brush spraying by itself? It is spraying by itself. Okay, I can still make this work. Okay. So I don't want to just spray this whole thing orange, even though I'm trying to tint it like this color right underneath the palette right here. I want to still kind of get that kind of scumbled look. Why is this not coming out? Hold on. I can't do this. It's spraying by itself because there's something jammed in it. I really need to clean out this brush, but I've been lazy and haven't done it. So, but we're going to see if we can get it to acquiesce here. If not, I'll just switch brushes. One more chance for you, buddy. I'm going to grab a little bit more red oxide too, just kind of thicken it up a little bit because that'll help with it spraying by itself as well. Let's see if this is going to work. It did. What do you know? All right, so back to this. So again, I don't want to just hose the thing down with orange. I want to just kind of put it in like kind of an uneven layer. And then I definitely want to keep an eye on the reference photo so I don't go too far with it, you know. It's this color, red oxide is a real strong color and it can take things over pretty quickly. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to spray a little bit on there and then lean back and take a look at it. It's down in here too. This darker area, I can kind of go over the whole thing. Same thing in here, in this leaf right here. I can kind of go over the whole thing without doing that pattern. Because it's just dark. It's going to be real dark when it's done. Oh, I'm seeing green in this too. All right. How's that look? A little bit more? Yeah, a little bit more. But again, I'd much rather add than have to take away. If I have to take this orange out, it's going to be a nightmare. I'd have to just repaint the whole area because the orange is so strong, it's just going to overpower things. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Where does this go? I don't know. Let's put it over here. The green, let's do green. Do a little bit of moss green here. Oh. Man, you know, it's funny. I was away for a couple days. I haven't airbrushed, and all these brushes are like locked up now. Like I didn't use them for like 2 days, and they're all messed up. It's gonna have to be spa day around here. So this is straight up. You didn't see this because I just did this off the camera, but this is straight up moss green. I'm worried about this one too. All right. So moss green, the green seems to pop in at the top of this a little bit. Oh, this brush is not happy either. So I'll look at comments while I'm doing this. Teresa, what is up? I haven't seen Teresa in a long time. What's going on, Teresa? There we go. This brush should be better now. Honey, have a great one. Thanks for jumping in. You're amazing. Brad Mummery, I just saw you there too. Hey, Brad. All right. Green, green, green dancing machine. Let's try that one more time. Oh, there it is. Lovely. So same thing with the green. The green isn't just sprayed in. I'm just kind of like putting it in little scumbles, I guess. You know, little areas. Up here too, a little bit, just a taste, just a bit. Down here too, and then in here as well on the lines. All right. So what's going on with this right now tonight? You guys, I so appreciate you guys being here because this changes this whole painting for me because I feel now like I know where I'm going with this, which is amazing. You know, I felt kind of weird about it before, and again, this is a tough painting for me emotionally, so I don't know that if me having a hard time with it is actually the painting process or if it's just dealing with it, you know, having to do this painting. But in any event, it's been kind of a tractor pull all along, and but now I feel good about where this is going. So now I have the black again, and I'm just darkening this up. Now I'm working on the value, how dark it is, It's too light right now, but that's okay. Again, it's so much easier to darken something than it is to lighten something. So I'd rather be in this position. And then across this whole thing is a shadow. So we'll kind of start to get that in there too. Now at this stage, it's really, really important, again, to lean back and look at it, make sure I'm in the right ballpark. And it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So now, we'll back you guys all the way out here. And while that's kind of hanging out there, I'm going to move the big camera out to a little bit closer so you can kind of see it as if, basically see it as where I was kind of leaning back to, which is about there. And you'll see what I mean. Now again, this is going to be out of context. I'll tell you why in a second, but we'll get the idea. All right, so there's when I lean back about, I don't know, about 12, 13 inches, and that's what I'm seeing. So that orange in there is really nice. The greens now. Again, it's out of context because this whole area is not done yet. So you're judging this area against an area that isn't done. But when I slide this over, you can see what's going to happen. See that orange in there now? And it's against these really darks that I haven't got in yet. So that's what we got to do right there. And that's what I got. Pretty fun, right? Hopefully, maybe, kinda, sorta. Again, my pain is your pain, kids. Oh boy. Terry, yeah, everything is going great. Thank you so much. Yes. Western, it is water-based, but you're right. Once it's dry, it is waterproof. That's for sure. YTFP, what's up, Chris? Thanks, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. There's the big view of it. And again, so again, this is a tractor pull of a painting. We did this little area tonight right here. But this whole thing, this whole painting is all that. It's everywhere. So again, at the end of it, I want to tell a really complex story about two really basically simple items that we see every day. You know what I mean? It's like that's the whole drive of this painting. Yes, we don't use cash as much as we used to. Everything's digital now. But still, everyone knows what a dollar bill is. Or everyone knows what their currency looks like, but you never really get up close to it. You never really get that full kind of view of it, and that's part of the job for this painting. Yay! So that's what we got. Thank you to the super chats. You guys are amazing. I love it. Again, we have 543. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to go put them on the site. If you go to my website, which is stephenleahy.com. They'll be right on the front page. So if you'd like one of those, you can grab it. I would definitely appreciate it. The super chats, the super thanks, and the 543 sales are what lets me do the live streams in the open studio and Time Lapse Tuesday. That's what allows me to justify taking that day that it takes me. I did the rough math on it. When I do 3 543s and a week, I'm working for about 13 hours to get the live stream, open studio, and time lapse done. That takes about a full day worth of work, more than a day. So the way I can justify doing that, the way I can do it while keeping the doors open, is by you guys, purchasing the 543s and doing those super chats. So I really, really thank you a lot. That's what I got. So join me again on Wednesday. We'll do it again, and keep an eye out if you don't have notifications on, turn them on, because I'll be doing a kind of a pop-up live stream to finish George's Penny, which will be a lot of fun too. All right, so that's what I got. So for Steve Leahy, and what do we got tonight? It's Monday Night Live. Thank you all, and I will catch you guys all next time. Thanks a lot. Oh, look at that. You get to look at Cezanne.